When it comes to fixed blades, I've always had a little bit of a type. For me, any fixed blade with like wooden scales, Bowie blade shapes, that vintage style has always been my jam. But lately, I gotta say guys, I've been going down a different rabbit hole. I've been going down the tactical fixed blade rabbit hole. And I'll be honest with you guys, I kind of love it. So today we are talking about the maker that I'm holding responsible for me going down this rabbit hole, and that is Michael Jarvis of Auxiliary Manufacturing. And getting to know him for these last couple years has definitely opened up a whole other side of collecting that I really never thought I'd go down. And honestly, even if you don't consider yourself a tactical EDC fixed blade kind of guy, I'm willing to bet there's something in his lineup that would make you change your mind or maybe reconsider a little bit. So before Michael became a knife maker, he was in the culinary world. He spent 15 years in the restaurant world and did everything from dishwasher all the way to executive chef. And most notably, he worked at a heavy metal burger bar called Kuma's Corner in Chicago. And once you get to know Michael, you will know that that fits him perfectly. And then things changed when a family member of his got sick. So he left the culinary world to take care of his family member. And in that time, he needed something to do with his hands. So he started making pry bars. And then he was like, you know what, let's make a fixed blade. So he went out and bought himself a grinder from Harbor Freight, built a brake drum forge in his driveway, and started making knives. And that first knife was pretty rough. I saw it. I mean, it's better than anything I could have ever made. But to him, it lit a fire to make knives. And in 2016, he and his wife, Anne, decided to build his very first shop, and the rest is history. And that brings us here. I now own 10 auxiliary manufacturing knives. I have had 2 collaborations with Michael. Him and I have traveled around to different blade shows, and I couldn't be more honored to consider him a friend. So now we're gonna kick it off with the very first Aux MFG knife that I ever got, the one that kicked off this whole thing, and that is the Pocket Bowie. So this knife is one of the most sentimental pieces in my whole collection because the Pocket Bowie is what kicked off our friendship. 2 or 3 years ago, Michael had reached out to me asking if I'd be willing to snap some photos of this knife to share it on social media. And I said, hell yeah, because this knife has a Bowie blade shape and it just looked super rad. And after carrying this knife for a couple of years, I really fell in love with it. It's super comfortable in the hand. It's a perfect EDC size in my opinion, and it blends a little bit of that vintage style with some of the tactical flair that Michael is known for. Now you'll notice that this guy is a little special, and that is because this is my collaboration with Michael. These released at Blade Show Atlanta this year, 2025, and I couldn't be more stoked. Normally, he makes these with a paracord wrap and stingray underneath, and I asked Michael, hey, what if we made it a little bit more vintage to kind of fit my vibe? And this is what turned out, and it is awesome. We have ironwood on this bolster here, rich light, micarta pins with some micarta liners, textured spine. This is my perfect Pocket Bowie, and I am so glad that Michael was so open to wanting to collab with me on this. Only 10 of these were made, which made it even more special to anybody who decided to support us and pick one up. So this knife to me is just the most sentimental one, and I love it. So if you're looking for that mix of vintage and tactical, I think the Pocket Bowie is probably the best place to start. This massive knife is called the Bowie XL, and I think this is where that tactical side of things really shines. Again, Bowie blade shape, but you have the paracord wrap and the stingray underneath, which Michael is really known for. The paracord is impregnated with resin, so it's super tough and it doesn't move, and the stingray underneath is genuine stingray skin, which is very rad. The Bowie XL for me is, like I've talked about it before in other fixed blade videos, this is like the knife when I think of fixed blade. Something big, something that looks mean. This, it feels right at home. Something that I should mention is most of the fixed blades we're gonna see today are an AEBL steel, which I am a very big fan of. It's easy to sharpen, and if you take care of this steel, it'll last you a lifetime. The Bowie XL to me seems like, I don't know, kind of like intrusive thoughts. Like the Pocket Bowie in my eyes is a perfect EDC knife, and I would definitely be the one to think, what if we made it even bigger? And it turned out awesome. It's super comfortable in the hands. I rock this guy on my belt. And again, I don't know much about the self-defense scene, but like, this feels like a substantial knife to do some damage in a pinch. All I think of is like Crocodile Dundee when he's like,
"That's a knife. That's a knife."
That's what I think of the Bowie XL. an absolute beast of a fixed blade. Before we keep rolling, I want to put you guys on to something new. There's a newer retailer out there called Cajun Knife, and after speaking with Tyler for the last couple weeks now, I knew that this guy is cut from the same cloth as many of us. He's a super passionate guy who's boots on the ground trying to get to know makers and creators like myself, and his website is stocking some very awesome stuff, and I'm also very proud to announce that he is the sponsor of this video. So if you're going down this tactical fixed blade rabbit hole with me, he actually stocks a lot of the stuff that I spoke about today from Michael Jarvis of Auxiliary Manufacturing. So go ahead and take a look at the website, run through the Aux MFG stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and have a Cajun Knife link down below. Thank you so much, Tyler over at Cajun Knife, for sponsoring this video. And now back to some more fixed blades. This next knife is a bit of a novelty, so we'll get that out of the way first. I said that in my blade show video. This is definitely more for funsies. I think in a pinch, maybe it could help you out, but this is definitely like a little box cutter or something to kind of have around your neck for like maybe just in case kind of situations. This is the Pocket Lint. It's a baby fixed blade. It's about as big as my pinky. And this was a gift from Michael when I was at his shop in Blade Show West. I've never owned a little baby knife like this, and when I saw it, I'm like, man, I kind of want that. Very easy to conceal. It does come with its own Kydex sheath, and it does come with a ring loop, so you could put this on your keys, but I chose to put it on as a neck knife because I just think it's cool, and I don't care what people say. I wear and carry whatever the hell I want. So the Pocket Lint, it's a cute little knife. My wife Lexi wanted to steal it from me as soon as she saw it. The Pocket Lint is super rad. I like it a ton. Again, it's gonna cut boxes and tape, and in a pinch it could work to maybe do something, but I just like the novelty aspect of the Pocket Lint, and the fact that it's pink makes me laugh. I don't know why Michael gave me the pink one. I think for him it was probably funny that I'm just carrying around this little pink knife, so haha, you win, Michael. The next knife is our second collaborative design. This is the Coffin Spear Captain's Edition. This perfectly captures what I say when I'm trying to blend a little bit of vintage and tactical. The Coffin Spear, in my eyes, this blade shape, very much on the tactical side, but I kind of enjoy the process of taking something like this and saying, hey, what if we like threw some wooden scales on it and some mammoth molar and some micarta, and like, let's see how it turns out. So I really love the blend of the tactical and the vintage side of things, and I think the Coffin Spear Captain's Edition really hits a home run with that, in my opinion. I got a lot of compliments on this one, and I'm so stoked with the way that it turned out. We have blue mammoth molar on the bolster, cottonwood here on the rear, micarta liners, which is just perfect, and we have a little bit of G10 on there as well. This texture spine here is just absolutely awesome, and I just love the way that these turned out. These were definitely on the fancier side of things than Michael is used to, so for me, I felt very grateful that he was willing to try out something that was so different than from what he normally offers. So I loved the way that these turned out. Only 5 of these were made, and we may do some more later on, but with different configurations. So if you picked one up out of these 5, thank you so much, and just keep your eyes open. We may do something a little different with this design, or we may move on to something else, but I love this knife, one of my favorites, and I'm honored that I was able to do a collab with Michael on it. Something that I've really come to enjoy about Aux MFG is that Michael is definitely trying to have something for everyone. And if tactical is not your thing, he does have this guy right here. This is the Runt, and it's Michael's take on a more traditional EDC fixed blade, and I think he nailed it. The Runt, again, is a really good size, 3-finger purchase for me on that one, with the lanyard adding that 4th finger, letting me kind of grab on there with the pinky. Vintage micarta scales. This guy is fairly thin. Beautiful drop point blade on this guy, so very utilitarian. For me, this is a really good design if you maybe don't own a lot of fixed blades and you want to experience what that would feel like to have something that's small and easy to carry, but isn't too like cumbersome in your pocket. So the Runt is a really good option. I currently have it set up as a neck knife because I think for me, it's just kind of easier to carry it that way. I'm totally comfortable carrying a 6 to even 10-inch fixed blade on my belt, but I know that some people don't think that way, especially if you're not used to owning a lot of fixed blades. So I love this as a neck knife, but it's a great in the pocket fixed blade as well. If you're just wanting to kind of experiment with fixed blades a little more, the Runt is probably the best pick on his lineup. The next knife we're talking about is the Runt XL. So if you don't really care about the size of fixed blade that you carry, or you don't really have too much of a preference on larger or smaller, the Runt XL might be your guy. This guy is very thin, and I love that. I don't really own a lot of really thin fixed blades, and this has been really comfortable in the pocket, especially because at times, I kind of overdo it. If I put the Bowie XL on my belt, like I feel that knife no matter what I'm doing. I think this will be perfect for somebody who wants something very lightweight to maybe even throw on like a backpack or like a chest rig, something that's not gonna take up too much real estate. So the Runt XL, bigger but also thinner, definitely one you should consider if you're trying to keep your pockets light. This is the Tsume. And out of everything that you've seen in my collection so far, this is by far the most tactical of all. I really like this. Long handle, very comfortable, small little blade, good for fine detail tasks, but also super easy to conceal, which is what I've learned at Blade Tactical. The amount of people that showed up asking about this knife, and Michael was all, you know, super tactical about it, just really drew my attention. I've never owned a knife like this that's kind of got this sort of hawksbill shape to it, but I did learn something that I thought was cool. Even though the blade has a slight curve to it, Michael's intention when making this design is to still have a center line tip. So if you needed to jab into something, you can definitely do so. Some hawkbills are way too rounded to be able to do that. I thought that little touch was quite interesting. I have it set up as a neck knife as well. You'll notice that for me, a lot of these smaller knives go around the neck, and that's just because for me, it's a lot more comfortable. But when I wear this around my neck, I definitely feel way more tactical, like, and then just, you know what I mean? I gotta go take some lessons from Tomas. I need to start like practicing this stuff. I can't just carry tactical knives and not know how to use them. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me take like a tactical class with Tomas. I think that'd be so rad. I'll let you guys know if that maps out. But yeah, this is the Tsume, really cool, sleek little fixed blade. Could be used for everyday carry stuff, of course, but this is definitely leaning more towards that self-defense style. I personally still really love the design language. So if this is your jam, check out the Tsume. This year, Michael decided to go into the production world, which is really cool because we now have a folding Pocket Bowie. These are OEM'd by Miguron, and they're really, really nice. I love the fact that that Bowie shape, the shape of the Pocket Bowie as a fixed blade, translated perfectly into a folder. These guys have titanium scales, an M390 blade, micarta inlay, milled pocket clip. And for me, I love the way that the fixed blade design just translated over into a folding knife beautifully. Miguron definitely knows what they're doing. The action on these guys is very dialed in. This came very sharp out of the box. It is a very comfortable design. So if you're looking for an EDC knife that definitely has a little more flair to it, I think the Pocket Bowie is a good choice. I also think that the size is perfect for everyday carry. So this is the Pocket Bowie folder from the Deadhead series, which is the production line that Michael is coming out with. And in my opinion, it's a home run. Right now with production stuff, the sky's the limit on price points. So you can get a really good knife for anywhere between 20 to 30 bucks. And it's quite crazy. So Michael went ahead and also did some fixed blades with Miguron, and this is the Deadhead Pocket Bowie. This guy comes in at 99 bucks. We got textured micarta scales, a 14C28N blade, and it's just as comfortable as the regular Pocket Bowie, but just comes in at a more affordable price point. Something to note that I thought was really cool, the Pocket Bowie fixed blade, the ones handmade by Michael in Reno, all have this really nice recurve Bowie blade. You get that same recurve on the production stuff, which I thought was really rad. The sheath retention on these is really nice. You do get a Tech Lock style clip, which in reality is really not my favorite. I just haven't gotten around to change it. I'll most likely throw a DCC clip on this guy just because those are the best clips in my opinion. If you want to argue with me in the comments, go ahead and do so, but DCC makes the best clips, point blank. For me, $99 for this design is totally worth it. Fit and finish is fantastic. The execution of the design from being transferred as a handmade knife to a production knife is flawless. And I think it's worth your money if you want to pick up something from Michael, but maybe you can't afford to spend that much money for one of the handmade things right now. And last but not least, we have the Karl Jr. This one is also from the Deadhead production series. These are 99 bucks. A very comfortable fixed blade. You got that nice little texture on the spine here, which is a really cool touch to also see on the production knives. I'll be honest with you though, I do kind of want a Karl, which is just a bigger version of this guy, and it's handmade by Michael in Reno. The Karl Jr. is a great fixed blade if this is your design language, if you enjoy this. It's super comfortable in the hand, I love it, but I don't know, I'm kind of spoiled a little bit. I kind of want a full-size Karl. If I had the option, I would, especially because he had some made with this material called Grip X. Awesome stuff. I'm not gonna get into the weeds of that now, but definitely cool. Regardless, the Karl Jr. is a great fixed blade at $99. So if you're looking for something that's a little more on the tactical side, more than the Pocket Bowie fixed blade that's 99 bucks, the Karl Jr. might be the way to go. It comes with a Kydex sheath with really good retention, that tech lock again, which I hate that. I wish it didn't come with a tech lock. I'd almost rather have no clip at all than to have this damn thing, but I don't know, maybe I gotta give it a shot. If you use these, let me know down below. Maybe I'm just being a little too harsh, but not my jam. I don't like these. So that is it, guys. That is my full Aux MFG collection. I think from the outside looking in, sometimes we tend to see knives like this and think, oh, those are way too tactical. It's not something I would ever carry. But when you really hold one and get to know Michael as a maker, you can really appreciate someone's work further. The fact that I've been able to travel with Michael this past year to multiple blade shows, to check out his shop in Reno, has really given me a deep appreciation for not only who he is as a person, but as a maker. So thank you so much, Michael, for being a part of my knife collection journey. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know if any of these caught your eye. Which one would you EDC? Which one would you think that maybe you wouldn't like, but there's something in there that's caught your eye? Let me know down below. A big thank you to Tyler for sponsoring this video, and make sure you guys subscribe. We have a lot more fixed blades that are gonna be making an appearance on the channel soon, and if you are in the fixed blade rabbit hole like I am, I think you and I can learn something together. So thank you guys again, and I'll catch you in the next video.